CEO Justin Thaler and James Johnson, the voice of Midwest Motorsports. Buckle up, because the cool down lap starts now.
I got that going for the headset.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another week of the Cool Down Lap presented by Midwest Motorsports. Tonight, you got me, of course, and you're joined with James Johnson. Justin Thaler, unfortunately, can't be here this week. So, I'm entirely sure why. Maybe you just want to take the day off. But James is going to bust him on it tomorrow for the Road Series, so make sure you guys join in and watch that. But it's just James and I, and we're joined tonight with Justin Flagg out of our Road Series League. Justin, you got us?
I do. You guys hear me?
Sure do. So Justin participates in a road series. He also has another guest with him, but we're going to start off by just kind of getting to know Justin a little bit, and then we'll get to know his other guests too. But James, I'm going to let you start off with any questions you might have, and then you can pass it over to me, and I'll start asking questions as we get through the interview process here. So James, go ahead, buddy.
Well, that was an easy layup. You give me the easy question first. Good evening, everybody. Justin, first of all, thanks for joining us, man. You've been a great addition to the Midwest Motorsports League, definitely animating the races in the pro division and not lacking on speed by any means, or racecraft, I might add. We'll talk about some of your fun races. But the layup question that Anthony just gave me is how did you find Midwest Motorsports and what made you want to join?
So I've been watching Jesse for quite a while. I ran another series with him, Pony Express. I watched these guys, or him and Travis and Jack Lucas, run the league. And I wasn't real interested in the GT4s, and then I didn't really pay attention too much. And he said you guys were running GT3, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna swing on over, and that's what got me in a little late, but I'm glad to have joined you guys.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Still haven't convinced, or I guess Jesse and the crew haven't convinced you to run a Wart takeover paint scheme yet. I noticed.
Not yet, not yet. I'm with another team right now, but prospecting to get my IR up to get on one of those quote elite teams, I would say.
Okay, so you got iRacing goals? Fill us
Sure
in.
do. Yeah, I just need to get over that 4K hump. If I run officials, I guess.
Is that it? Maybe you could get some tips from Anthony. He's pretty close to 4K, right, Ant?
Yeah, I'm about 3,100 points away in the Road Series, so I got all the tips in the world, bud.
Well, what's is there this is your first season, right? Did you participate last season?
Yes, sir. No, first
Okay,
season.
first season. Is there a standout race or a race that sticks out, whether it's for good reasons or bad reasons so far?
Um, Obviously, I would say the tracks I'm familiar with. Sebring, that was a fun one. That was the only one I really got to run with Chase until Chase had that incident with the GT4s. Because obviously, I think
Oh yeah.
Chase and Jesse streamed quite a bit, so he's always cheering me on. But I was looking forward to racing against him to see if I could hang. But unfortunately, he's got other um, commitments that he's got to take care of, personal stuff and work and everything else, but still fun to run with everybody.
Yeah, Sebring, you
Oh,
started on the pole and finished second. And Chase did not win that one though, did he? Yeah,
No, Chase ended up, I think, closing out early with that
hang
incident
it
with the
up.
GT4s.
Right. I'm trying to think who ended up winning. Michael Odell?
I think that was Michael.
Yeah, P1 was Johan,
Oh,
Oh,
Odell.
oh,
Yep.
right? I haven't seen
yeah.
him in a little while.
You were 1.25 seconds behind him. Yeah, Johan's got other commitments too. He's on the other side of the planet also, so time frame doesn't quite work out great for him.
Yeah.
And you're gonna ask Justin some questions or a
Yeah,
question?
sure was. So, Justin, you talk about participating in other teams and such. Do you participate in the endurance races at all that iRacing hosts, like the 24 hours of Daytona, the 6 hours of Watkins Glen, any of those?
I do. I do miss a few of them with my work commitments. Obviously, I'm kind of on call 24/7, so things do come up. I did miss the 6 hour, but I did the 24 hour. I just did the 24 hour spa. Looking to do the Bathurst 1000 if I'm in town, which I should be, and then obviously the Petite Le Mans.
Yeah. Um, have you ever ran I think it's the Majors 24. I think Majors hosts it, and it's the 24 hours of Le Mans.
No, I did not. I didn't have time with things I had going on with work to get in the practice to be committed to it.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. Back before I started truck driving, we talked about before we went live on the podcast. I used to love running in the Daytona 24s, all those endurance races. It just seems like it brings a whole different aspect to racing, because you can get into an incident in the first hour, 2, 3, and still somehow come away with a good finish because you have those other 21 hours. But it's good to see that you like to participate in those. I know that I think I put on a 6 hour NASCAR practice like a week ago, and a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, we need to do an endurance race." So just low key gauging how many people would want to participate in a league endurance race.
That'd be
But
tough in NASCAR, I would assume.
oh,
I haven't done any
terrible.
laps on a NASCAR, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it would be terrible. We'd have to again, we'd go off the rails here, but it'd probably be not just the NASCAR cars, it'd probably be some GT3s as well, but class racing. But so do you have a preferred car that you like to run? I know you're running the McLaren right now, correct?
Uh, no. So I kind of, when I joined the league, I didn't even know which GT3 I should run. I just went off of when they first came out. I was like, oh, the GT or the McLaren's super strong. I'll just grab that one because I made the full commitment to just switch over to the Protos. Because a lot of the team racing and everything was just or P2s or GTPs. So I made the full switch. Um, so when I joined the league, it was learning the GT3s all over again.
Okay. So so far with your time with Midwest Motorsports, how do you feel about the change that we're going to be implementing next season with moving from this current GT3, GT4 car to the new higher downforce? I believe it's a Dalera, right?
Has it been announced?
Well, I don't know if it's that one per se or the other car, but we are moving away from the GT3, GT4 for sure. I know that much.
Yeah, I know. I kind of in the group chat, I was kind of commenting on it. With all respect, as trying to focus on getting better. As obviously, I've only been in the road series stuff for March last year. I think I started
Hmm.
on road. Um, so I'm really just I was really focusing on a specific car set. So we'll say IMSA. Um, but I think if the P cups are chosen, I think I'll probably run them.
That was the other
Because they're
car, the
becoming a
pickup.
little bit more popular.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sold on this R10 yet.
Yeah. The other choice with the pickup was the GR86, right? For the
That would be for the AM.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yes,
That
sir.
one is the one personally I'd like to see, if any, because the
I,
GR86 seems like a really fun car.
That is fun to drive. I would admit that's a lot of fun to drive because you can manhandle that car around. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm still torn in between 50-50.
for sure.
Where did your
Um,
love from racing come from, Justin?
there you go.
Um, I don't know. I guess growing up around it, I guess I'm a competitive person. So that's another reason why I'm kind of torn with trying to learn a new car because I don't touch officials unless I know that I can run competitive time. So obviously, I know some guys, I just do it for fun, but my competitive side is I don't want to join a race and suck. you because one of my things for I was in the military and made a name for myself, and I always say build your brand, right? So your name is who you are. So I kind of stick by that pretty hard. So I don't just jump into a race if I'm not comfortable doing it.
It was it was kind of like a lead in to find out a little bit more about the guy sitting right beside you. Um, introduce us to your stepdad, Justin.
Exactly. Oh, yes. So my stepdad's actually here from Michigan visiting for a little bit. And since he was in town, I hit up James and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to do a special interview?" Because Steve's been around the professional auto racing series, almost all of them. Knows about anybody you guys could probably throw at him personally. So I thought it would be great to message you guys and see if you'd be interested in having him online as well.
Yeah, really glad you did. Steve, welcome to the Cool Down Lap podcast. Do you have any influence and are you driver coaching Justin or is he maybe on the setup side? Tell us a little bit more about um, how you and Justin are getting along.
Oh, yeah, well, this is all new to me as far as this goes. But I got Justin in auto racing because he's married his mother, and I was in professional auto racing, and this here is just I cannot believe the control you have of the car, the setup, everything else. And as far as doing setups, Justin's been around long enough with real race cars that I don't need to tell him anything. Uh, you got to realize this is a kid that was adjusting the valves on my race car when he was 14 years old. And we were winning. I mean, we won 8 races in a row with it. So he's been around.
That's
Right
awesome.
on. Well, tell what was he adjusting valves on and tell us a little bit about your
It was a
racing
small block.
history.
It was a small block Chevy. It was 377 cubic inches. It had a buddy of mine. It was right when SB2s come in 2000. I had got out of professional auto racing, moved to Oregon. Next thing you know, the kids want to a local track and say, "Hey, let's build a race car." And we did. And it was a small block Chevy. I got a hold of my buddy at Hendrick Motorsports and got a set of heads and an intake all matching with the full load of them because they were going to SB2s. And yeah, we balanced, blueprinted motor, um, built a car, and went out and dominated for 2 years with it. And yeah, and when people got tired of me winning, we put Justin in the seat and he won. So it was a lot of fun.
Um, you were talking about the sim racing, I imagine, kind of being different. How you can, I guess, do all these adjustments and drive these cars in the sim. Have you had a chance to get in Justin's like sim rig and stuff and kind of poke around with it, drive around a little, and kind of see how it translates from what you dealt with in your racing life and having all that kind of put into a video game in a way?
Yeah, he don't let me run it much because I'm faster than he is on it.
Oh,
Oh, good enough reason.
nice.
But no, seriously, I am just surprised. Brake bias, everything, the input with the steering wheel and the bumps, um, the tire management, both on cold tires and then used up tires. It just blows me away. I did the sim at Delara back in 2015 in Indy, and I was blown away with that one. And then the one he's got here it's just crazy. You got to realize I'm 72 years old, and I look back and man, if I'd have had this when I was, running, oh, geez, but just how realistic it is, and the tracks. Most of the tracks that he runs on are tracks that we raced on in Trans Am and World Challenge, and it's just amazing how realistic it is, and just blows me away.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of crazy to think about. Back when you were doing all your crew chiefing and such, and probably even driving. I would imagine you did some driving. It would be hard to think that you could have something like this in your house. And
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
nowadays it's so affordable. Like I wouldn't say it's like super affordable, depending on how you want to go, but you can get a rig pretty cheap, and it's kind of crazy to think how accessible those things are nowadays.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's just amazing. It blows me away.
Yeah. Um, so while we're on the subject here of your crew chief and past racing experience and such, can you tell us who the most famous driver you ever worked for is?
Boy, that's a tough one.
I personally think the only person everybody knows is Mario.
Well, Mario, but I did some. You have to realize back in the early '90s, NASCAR, when it come to road courses, were taxi cabs, and
They still are.
I did. Yeah,
Just,
I did.
just
Yeah,
kidding. Just kidding.
I did a little bit of work with a weekend with Joe Gibbs Racing and Bobby when he was driving for him. And Bobby was pretty cool. Him and his brother Terry, the Bonnies, were
Hmm.
really decent people. Michael and Mario Andretti are like a godfather. Mario is, and Michael. A lot of people look at him and think he's really stuck up and everything, but the guy is really shy, and that's why he acts the way he does on TV. But I'd have to say the most one I met or worked with Mario a little bit. Um, I met and spent some time with a couple young guns not long ago. Kyle Larson being one of them, and he's amazing. He's just so down to earth and real people. And most of your drivers are. Dale Earnhardt was really a decent guy. I got to converse with him 3 or 4 times, once in length. Um, yeah, I look at all the drivers and to me they're all prima donnas anyway. you because whatever you do, nothing's right.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, some of the best ones to work with were the Archer brothers. Okay, as far as working with them, and you would get done with the session and you go in and download, and Tommy, the youngest brother, I think he is. Anyway, he would sit there for 45 minutes telling you everything, here, there, everywhere, what the chassis is doing, what. Bobby'd get out of the car and you'd ask him what's wrong with it, and he says, "It's a piece of crap," and walk off. And you could change their setups and they'd both run the same times. It was crazy.
Yeah. So somebody in the chat asked, they wanted to know what your favorite track is.
Mine,
Yeah.
Road America.
Okay. Is it because of the beautiful scenery and stuff? Did you have a lot of success there? What makes it your favorite?
Just the opposite. I had terrible success there. But it is a beautiful racetrack. I mean, if you've never been there, it's something you should go see, because running the Indy cars or IMSA or the Trans Am, which we were usually a support group with Indy, it's a great track. It was a track that I did have one win in with the Eagle Talons, but
All-wheel drive.
yeah, all-wheel drive. Well, they took that away from us a couple times. They took the turbocharger away from us once. They took all-wheel drive away from us. We still won 5 consecutive championships. But you have to realize Chrysler was throwing tons of those green things at us. But the track is I love driving it, but I just never got a handle on the cars the way I wanted to. I don't know why. Now, as far as winning, Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen has had tremendous luck there. With Eagle Talons, I was with 4 different Trans Am teams, and we always had great times there.
Me and Justin Thaler and Eric Thaler recently got to go out to Watkins Glen, and that was a track that we did not realize just how much elevation change there was in some of the track versus the sim, because when you're walking around it, you can kind of see, like, heading down the chute into the boot,
Yeah.
or the carousel into the boot, just how much downhill you go, how there's actually, like, it looks like there's actually, like, banking there too. It's kind of crazy to see that stuff in person versus the sim, which
Yeah,
is
and
why I would like to get out to Road America, just because of, you're driving around looking at it, but in person, I feel like that's a whole nother level of beauty.
well, yeah, and another track that's like that's Atlanta, Road Atlanta.
Thank you.
That track there is crazy. I mean, I got on the sim and I'm like, I got lost. You know, it was like, wait a minute. But yeah, it's I had a lot of luck at Charlotte on the Roval. Done very well there. Sebring to me is a very tough track. Um, it's an old airport and I haven't done anything to it in years.
Hmm.
But always had a good handle on that track with the cars. When
They
I was
say
with
So,
if you
when I was with Lou Gelati in the Corvettes, he done really well there.
go ahead, Ant.
um, oh, so do you still kind of keep, like, do you, like, watch racing still? Like, any of the NASCAR stuff? Do you follow that, or IMSA or anything? Is there a particular series you watch and follow?
Watch F1 for the first 10 or 15 laps. After that, it's boring.
uh,
Being truthful. Yeah, I still follow NASCAR. I follow Carson Hocevar a lot because he's from our home state. I met him in Owasso Speedway, actually. And matter of fact, Kevin Harvick and his son just raced there probably about a week and a half ago or so.
hmm
But yeah, I follow NASCAR quite a bit. What really surprises me is all the cars are belly buttons. They're all the same.
hmm
Um, and if you look at the underneath and the way the chassis is designed, it's almost like a Trans Am car, a TA1, and now anyway. But
So,
and I
oh,
like watching anything dirt, sprint cars, World of Outlaws. Love it. That's what I was born and raised around.
so since you're still kind of keeping up with everything that's going on, what do you think of NASCAR going out to that naval base next season and racing, or being able to take that car and just go to a street and set up a track?
That's gonna be flat, baby. That's gonna be like Cleveland. It's gonna be like Cleveland. That's gonna be. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I think there's other venues that NASCAR would suit better. You look at Bristol. I've been there. You look at Martinsville. Richmond's a little bit bigger. They changed it a few years back. I was in the old the old Richmond and the new one. We raced a truck there. But I you know I don't know. They're doing a lot of stuff. I think that they've lost the younger fan base myself, and I think that they're trying to bring that back. Um, yeah, and the other thing NASCAR has got to do is lower their prices.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just it's just getting crazy. The normal family can't go to something like that. You look at the grandstands at Indy, and this last weekend, and man, they're just losing it, and it's sad because the racing's pretty good.
Hmm.
I think they
Yeah.
should open up the restrictor plates and take that damn camera out of the car. Let drivers be drivers.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that agree with you on that. Since you were saying that you've got to meet Carson Hocevar, what do you think of his driving per se? I know a lot of people look at his driving and they say it's not something that they're like, if they were driving, they wouldn't want to see that every week or wouldn't want to do that. But I can see both sides of the coin. I mean, the guy's out there trying to win a race, and he's running that fine line of being over aggressive versus letting people run over him. What's your thoughts on that?
You remember who Dale Earnhardt was?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You remember who Darrell Waltrip was?
Uh-huh.
I mean, Jimmy Spencer.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Jimmy Spencer. Yep.
the both the Bush brothers.
Yeah, which is crazy because there's still one of those guys racing.
Yeah, Kyle's yeah. But what I'm getting at is this is not uncommon, and the kids going out there in the lesser of equipment and running up front, and
Hmm.
you know, hey, stuff happens. Now I'm not saying that a couple times, but if you watch the Xfinity race this last weekend, the 21 car got into the 19 on purpose. Now that I don't, yeah. I think Carson is taking a piece of equipment and driving it for over its limits,
Yep.
and he's getting himself into trouble. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't think so. I wish he'd tone down a little bit, but hey, they're out there. He's out there to prove something, man. He's,
Hmm.
Right.
he wants to make a name for himself, and be it right or wrong. I mean, Earnhardt did it, and you know, um, yeah, I'm all for him myself. I've watched him race local tracks, and he always had superior equipment. I feel, and I never thought that he would go and do what he's doing today. So in other words, he's proved to me he's a better driver than I thought he was. And I think he's going to have a big future. It's just it's just all money, man. It's all money. That's the bottom line.
Hasn't it always been though, or won't it always be?
Yeah, yeah, it that probably changed in
70s.
big time in the late 80s to early 90s. And but the thing is now is it's just crazy money. You know,
You
we
can't blame a guy for taking a car that's, the top of the line, best of everything, and running with it, especially when he's young. If he's got the opportunity, I mean, I think
yeah,
anybody would do the same thing, including Max Verstappen all his life. He's
yeah,
been given
yeah.
the best of the best start, everything new every time.
Yeah,
Um,
well, you look at Harvick's son now. I
yeah,
watched him, and truthfully, he's got the best of the best with, I mean, everything. But the kid's going out there and proving it,
yeah.
and to me, everybody says, "Well, he's got every," and it's like, so what? He's going out there and proving it,
He's got a
and
good
I think,
coach. Yeah,
yeah, oh, he's got everything. I mean, come on, and which is, hey, the way I look at it is if the people that are complaining that's running against him, if they had money, would they do the same? Yes, if they're racers.
so Steve, it's been a great pleasure talking to you. I'm not ready to let you go just yet. You really had me on the dirt thing. I'm all about it. It really
I,
showcases the driver. They asphalts, dirts for racing, asphalts for getting there
yeah,
sometimes. Um,
yeah,
but you've been around so much of it for so long, and actually boots on the ground for decades, from what you tell us. What is the daily grind like? I mean, at first they also say the infamous day, right? They also say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But what's the daily grind like? Did it ever feel like a grind when you were traveling, living out of a suitcase from track to track?
yeah. I mean, flying cross country and like 10,000 miles in a little over a week because we were doing tests at 4 different tracks with 3 different series. Yeah, that was. But yeah, it gets old. When I walked away from it in 2002, I walked away from it, and you have to realize I was born into auto racing. My dad had midget sprint cars and super modifieds back in the 50s when I was born. My brother, which was 17 years older, raced them, was very good. I ran midget sprint cars from like 69 when it had to be 18 at that time. And in through the 70s, and figured out that to run up front or to get back east, I had to have a ton of money. So I started building race cars, and then I went, from there. But as far as the
Nice.
daily grind, yeah, it gets old. I've had years where crash damages and stuff. I had one driver that we worked more on getting the race car fixed so he could race it because he crashed it in practice or qualifying than we did working on it to make it go fast. And that's a year that you just want to forget. It's
Yeah,
just, but the thing is it's hard life. It's a hard life if you're married. But
you're
would I do it
you're
over
not the only
again?
one that said that for sure. I mean,
But
you
would
do
I
hear
do it
that a
over
lot.
again? I'd do it over again 100 times.
Yeah, it's part of your life. It's in your blood for sure. I want to
Oh
ask
yeah.
Justin the same thing now. Justin, you still there? You don't have
I'm
to
I'm
wake him
here.
up, Steve. Okay, just checking. Make sure you're not rolling your eyes like, "Come on, Dad." You know. But no, it's all good. Um, Justin, when you're working so hard trying to get your I rating up, does it feel like a grind to you sometimes?
uh,
He loves it.
no. I guess it all depends on my work schedule. 'Cause uh, my what I do for work can be uh wear your brain out. So sometimes I get off work and I don't want to touch my computer and or be around it at all. So it can be work, but um, learning the tracks is fun. That's why hesitant to try new cars because obviously, like the race tomorrow night, I wasn't sure I was going to run it, but I'm just going to wing it and go for it. And I
There
think
you
I've
go.
got like 28 laps around the track right now, so
I,
hopefully I can do it.
I have one thing to say. iRacing, you have other priorities, right? You got your family, you got your work, everything else. What I was doing, racing was a priority, other than your family, but racing was a priority. It was 24/7.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at that level, it pretty much has to be for sure if you're going to do it for a living. Well, Steve, if you ever get a chance to watch any of Justin's racing in the past, the Suzuka race that he ran, the Midwest Motorsports, Justin, I really want to know what that was like for you going in to turn one, lap one, getting dropped all the way to the back and then fighting through all the way up. Almost made it to the front, but what was going through your brain during that race, Justin? That was awesome.
Honestly, I was like, oh man, I thought I could just coast through this. I was like, now I've got to work, you know. So I was sitting in here sweating too. So it's did what I could to get back up front. I was like, all right, I got to show what I'm made of.
Yeah, I think there were over 20 cars in the GT3s, and to go from leading to last and work your way back all the way through was it was a lot of fun to call as a broadcaster, and I'm sure it was a little bit of an internal challenge once you kind of caught your breath and doing it. So, congratulations. And you want to ask the famous question that Justin always asks? Justin Thaler usually asks when he's here.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know how many of these podcasts you've got to listen to, Justin, but every time we have a guest on, we like to ask basically if you were put in place of running the league for a day and you could change anything about it, anything at all, road series, oval series, add a new series, change a rule, whatever you'd want to do. What is the one thing you would do to this league differently?
Um, I think I've thought about this quite a bit because I do watch your guys' podcast. Let's add a real pro series, open setups, full 9 yards, if the bandwidth was available.
Okay. Um,
No.
now, uh, I know you'd have an advantage in that. Going in, setting up your own car and such. The only person I think that I know of that does the real racing and knows his cars and stuff would be Odell, and I don't know how much setup stuff he knows. But if you did do a setup league, is that something like how we currently have our coaching session? Like people would be able to ask people that know how to set up cars, like, "Hey, what's this thing do?"
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, I don't do my own setups. I pay to play, I guess. I buy the P1 dock sets because
Okay,
honestly, the setups on here don't relate to real world. And you know,
gotcha.
you get so many cheats, right? So like I think when we were doing Bathurst, I think I told the guys I was like I bought them out. So I don't know if you guys watched, I would go from one side of the track to the other because I watch from and underneath the track. I watched my car to see where I'm bottoming out, and then I adjusted my line so I wasn't doing it. So I don't know.
It's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah, because
um,
you would scrub like 5-6 miles per hour off the car when you bottomed out.
so the second part of that question that we like to ask is, what's one thing about the league right now that you don't like? If there's one thing in the league currently, again, could be a rule, could be something with the schedule, anything. What's one thing you don't like currently?
I don't like. I don't think there's anything I dislike about the league at all. It's ran smoothly. I like the pro and am. You know, we both get our 10-minute qual, which is great. Uh, There's, I mean, I haven't seen anything that's a red flag. Everything is ran excellent.
There was one other question I didn't get to ask you earlier from one Chase Fincher. You probably seen it in the chat. He wanted to know, what's it feel like to be nicknamed Mr. Pole?
It's funny. I think Chase started calling me Mr. Pole before I joined the league when I was running Pony Express. And I had to move to GTPs, and I'm really not ready for GTPs, honestly. I think it's funny. I think I put in a couple of the things that when I did race dirt track, they called me Justin the Flash Flag. So being called
Oh, I
Mr.
like
Pole is
that.
funny. Yeah.
Uh-oh. James's wheels are going, man. You're gonna have a new nickname.
The
I do have
flag.
one thing. I do have one thing to say. We watch all of Justin's races. The wife puts it on. We sit there and we watch it. And we live in Minnesota
Michigan.
or Michigan. Yeah.
So you guys get to listen to James every Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Great commentator.
There you
oh,
go,
thank you.
James.
Thanks for listening. Say hi to your family.
Will do.
Give you a shout out next time tomorrow night, maybe.
All right.
All right,
Amazing.
gents. Well,
Yeah.
what we're gonna.
This is the stream right here.
See,
Sorry.
can you guys see the Viper that's on the screen? On the screen?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Pratt and Miller, the Dr. Corvette team, built the chassis for me. Roush, the factory Ford team, built the body for me. And the only thing that was stock was rear tail lights, which all Trans Am cars are like that. And Chrysler was going to sue us because we were running a Viper with a V8 instead of the V10 that they have.
Uh-huh.
And then about the third race in the season, they called and says, "How come we don't have Dodge on the side of the car?" And make a long story short, I told them, "Send me $150,000 and I'll put Dodge on the side of the car." Well, we never did get Dodge on the side of the car. And then they outlawed the car that year.
Yeah, it's a shame they don't make that car anymore. That's a beautiful car.
There was
That's
a
a great
lot.
story.
Yeah, it was. I've got pictures of Justin when he was young, sitting on the chassis plate. We had the car up on the chassis plate, putting it together. Pratt and Miller made me sign a form that said I was going to build a Corvette because they weren't going to build me a frame because they were a factory Corvette team. So I knew Gary Pratt very well. Beautiful car. It's in New Zealand now.
Yeah, those are
Oh.
both actually really cool vehicles there.
Yeah, that was a dirt mini truck that we built. That was Justin's high school project.
Yeah,
From
the
the
paint job
ground
on
up?
it. Did some
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
TIG welding for a gentleman, and he did the paint job for us for free.
Oh, that's definitely awesome.
The Chevy Love and then the Iron Duke in it with the marine motor, so it has the 2.5-inch
Yeah.
intake
Yeah. And it was
manifold.
205 cubic inches out of a 4-cylinder.
So I know I think I might have mentioned it prior to the podcast, but I definitely want you to throw some of these pictures up in the real racing there, Justin.
Yeah, I'll
there's-
throw them up.
there's-
There's
yeah,
tons. I'll compile some more so people can
Yeah.
see. But,
there's
Chase to the other
definitely-
guys might dog on me a little bit because
Yeah, we got there's tons of yeah.
Yeah, and the
I
cool
think I
thing
had
is,
at Motorsport where I was up there with a bunch
Yeah.
of people.
the cool thing is, I'm sure with each of these pictures, there's a story, and
Oh.
that'll give people a good opportunity to ask about the picture, and we can get a whole story out of it.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna have to call the guest segment tonight here. We still gotta get through a little bit of the Road Series stuff, and then I gotta run to work. So, Justin, Steve, absolute pleasure having the two of you on. Justin, we'd love to have you on again just to get some more talking about Road Series stuff. And Steve, if you're ever in the area or you're with Justin again on a Monday and you guys want to hop back in for some more talking, just get a hold of me or James again, and we can definitely get this set up.
Yeah,
But
maybe I can get him in with you guys to help you broadcast. I got
yeah,
him set up with
Hey, there
Discord
you
and
go.
everything at the computer at his house.
heck yeah, he can give the inside look. So give a little bit of some aspect on what the cars are doing out there.
well, it was an honor to be on here, and thank you. It was a pleasure.
Oh no, it was awesome having you guys on, especially being able to get the insider look on some of the real racing that goes on in the world too. So again, doors always open anytime you guys want to hop on here. Justin, if it's solo, just message us. If it's with Steve, message us and we can make it happen.
Awesome. I
Um,
appreciate it, guys.
no, we appreciate you and thanks for being a member of the league and a watcher. So
Oh yeah.
uh, well, you guys have a great night and try to stay cool while you're down there in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. It's nice and toasty. Pray for rain.
Thanks again.
Thanks,
You guys have
Justin.
a
Thank you
good
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Steve.
Have a good night. Bye.
Oh man, what a good interview, man. I we probably could have had that one go for about 3 or 4 hours. I'm sure James, you probably had like a notebook of questions. I'm pretty sure I had like another 30 questions just going through my
Yeah.
head, but we try
We
and fit
didn't
this show in as an hour and a half.
we didn't talk about the kart IndyCar split. We didn't talk about the World Sports Car Open Cockpit prototype. We talked to them guys for hours.
Yep, and that's why
So
I'm
fun.
happy we can leave the door open like that. So
That's right.
hopefully we get them back on in the not so distant future and get some more of these questions out. Again, if you guys have any uh time and you want to hop on the podcast again, just shoot me a message, shoot James a message. We're pretty good about getting back pretty quickly. It's pretty laid back. Justin and Steve popped in probably 10 minutes before we started the podcast and we hopped right into it. So it's pretty laid back and it's actually a pretty good time. So if you have any interest in hopping on, any stories to share, or again, in Justin's case, if there's anybody you know that has some real life racing experience that wants to hop in and kind of share that stuff, just get a hold of us, and we're happy to have you on here to kind of open the floor up and give you a mic. So thanks again to Justin and Steve giving us some time there and some insight into the racing world and. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Road Series. That was the only league series that was running last week out at the Nürburgring. Correct, James?
That's right. The Road Series was at the Nürburgring Strecke track, which is the circuit that we usually run. This was in the daytime, so nobody had to fight the dark. Um, Michael Odell started first in the GT3s and had some competition. Dropped back on lap one. Jason Phillips and Jack Lucas um, got into it, passed him as well as um, Christopher Rowe. So Christopher Rowe actually put a great move going in the hairpin and took over the lead. And Michael Adele actually had to work for a minute. Imagine that. Also, the GT4s were off to a great start. Zach Alexander, the pole sitter, did not do a qualifying lap. So he tried to do the worst to first plan. Um, did it work? Stick around. We'll tell you before it's over with. Um, but yeah, it was great fun. Um, they're looking for 13th. I believe Ron Kabiltis uh, set it on the pole for the GT4s. And a great race. Pablo Araya, David Wortman. A couple of spins coming out of the slower section, the stadium section. Um, this is a pretty long track, a track that we've run for a while, so almost everybody was familiar with it. But being towards the end of the season, I think 12 cars in each division is, I think, about average this time of year. I think the Oval Series tends to drop off participation level wise a little bit towards the end of the season. And can
Oh,
you think
for
so?
sure. Yep. It's I think it's just due to people realizing like, oh, well, I'm this far out of the championship race, so just kind of lose interest.
Yeah, well, it didn't keep the action from, falling down, falling apart. We just spoke with Justin Flagg. He was battling it out inside the top 10 um, for a while before. I think he had a technical difficulty. No, his internet crashed on him. So either the internet or something, I remember now, something happened with his PC itself. He ended up running a debugger. Um, so technical gremlins got in the way of Justin Flagg's fun night and therefore his points scoring um, opportunity. But he came up and joined us in the broadcast for a little bit until his debugger automatically rebooted. So we kind of lost him. I think he might have been in the middle of a sentence. But thanks again to Justin. I didn't get to thank him while he was on the podcast for joining us, even when he was having a bad night. Um, but it didn't keep the racing again up and down the field from going on. Um, way too many good races to call. Rick Bundren was looking at a podium spot in the AM division for a while before Ian, Troy Nissen, David Wortman was on a run. Meanwhile, Zach Alexander was coming through the field, worked his way about halfway up, and then the GT3 started working their way through traffic just in time for a pit stop. Um, really great racing, man, that we know and love from the GT3s. Um, it was fun to watch Jason Phillips follow Christopher Rowe and hold off Michael Odell. I think there's enough respect between those three drivers to not make any unnecessary lunges. So Adam was working the cameras like a pro, as he always does. And we were able to watch some racing throughout the field, all up and down the field. Um, Christopher Hopper graced us with his presence back from a trip to Italy um, before he ran out of talent by his own by his own admission in the chat. If you read the
uh,
Road Series chat, Aaron Mitchell will tell you he'll apologize to Aaron Mitchell, but no, it was all good. They were just having fun, tight racing, and of course, an accident. Christopher Hopper's going to take it on the chin as his fault. But really great racing up and down the field. We can go over the final rundown if you want, but unfortunately, Rowe dropped back to seventh. I'm not sure if it was bad strategy, I think, is what beat Rowe. Maybe he had one slight mistake, but Michael Odell waited his time, and I think he played a tire strategy. His pit strategy worked out a little better than Jason Phillips, but good for Jason Phillips to get second. Jack Lucas came home third after having a great race again, really close together. Really close laps. So Michael Odell ended up about 13 seconds ahead, but Jason Phillips and Jack Lucas were side by side for the rest of the race. Jack Lucas just didn't want to risk taking Jason out. Um, so didn't Jason, good on Jason Phillips for not giving him the opportunity. Didn't leave the door open. Um, Shout out to Steve Hansel for coming in top five ahead of Justin Thaler. So that's always a party when that happens. And as you can see on the screen, Zach Alexander did make it all the way through the field. Fair and square, clean. Um, just ahead of David Wortman. Good to see David Wortman getting a longtime member, getting a podium, finishing second, and Pablo Araya finishing third in the AM division. Did we already see the pro division slide there, Ant?
nope, it's should be populating here in another couple seconds. There's a little bit of a
Okay.
delay.
No problem. And once again, congrats to Michael Odell, Jason Phillips, Jack Lucas. Thanks to Aaron Holroyd for the screenshots from the Nürburgring.
Oh, for sure. Timely turnaround on those. Thank you, Aaron Holroyd. I have the AM points up there on the screen. It looks like Zach Alexander is leading by 764 points over Nick Moffitt. James Zangy, James Zangy down in third, 822 points back. Troy Nissen in fourth, 894 back, and Ron Kabiltis 906 points back.
So look at the Troy Nissen and Ron Kabiltis 12 points apart. James Zingy and Troy Nissen, 2 or 3 points apart, 25 points of position, I believe.
Yeah. Look
So,
at fifth and sixth place there.
Yeah, 12 points. Yeah.
No, that's a complete tie between fifth and sixth.
Oh, fifth and sixth are even, correct.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Bragging rights, something to watch for tomorrow night as we go to Silverstone for an endurance race. Hour and a half.
Yeah. So I threw the pro points up. Should be populating on the screen. Mike Odell is leading the pro side. Jason Phillips, 514 points back in second. Justin Thaler, 668 points back from the lead. John Daniels, 769 back, and Jason Wahlberg, 835 back. We don't have any ties, but there is a tight battle, it looks like, with Justin Flagg and Steve Hansel for sixth place. It looks like 14-point difference there.
And we just heard that Justin Flagg is going to race tomorrow. Doesn't have a lot of knowledge about this track, Scuba Steve. So bring it, Steve Hansel.
You got to watch, man. Steve in that Porsche. I tell you what, he's a changed man behind the wheel of that Porsche, going from the Corvette last season. He is it looks like it's revived his racing spirit. So it's good to see Steve out there running as good as he does.
He beat Justin Thaler once, and Ant Caster's going to give him a trophy.
I will send that man a trophy for beating Justin.
I know,
especially after Justin missed tonight. He's definitely getting a trophy.
That's right. Let's give him a hard time. But yeah, that AM division race with Ron Kabildas and Rick Bundren is for a top 5. So, like Jason Phillips said, that's going to be a fun race for us to follow tomorrow. As we have a special guest in the booth, Chase the Finger Fincher is going to join me in the booth the whole time. Adam takes the nights off. So, join us. Who knows? You might have somebody else pop in the booth with us too. So, tune in tomorrow night. Session opens at 7.
Yeah, it ought to be a great time to wrap up the road series.
GT3, GT4, the last race of the GT cars.
Yep. I don't know if they ever ended up closing that poll for the road series. I didn't see. I haven't really been in Discord, but I didn't see Justin post anything. So, yeah. Yep, there haven't been any new announcements since. So, just about you're broadcasting the season 9 race tomorrow. So I believe that poll's still up. So if you guys have not voted, go see if the poll's up. If you can get into it and vote, go ahead and vote for the car choice you want. That way, your vote matters in what we run for next season. And yeah, I imagine one of these episodes coming up might not be next week, could be the week after, or just in one of these upcoming podcast episodes. I'm sure Justin will be here and we'll go over the results and kind of break down what that means for the road series in the coming season. So stay tuned. Is there anything we missed tonight, I about called you Jason. Is there anything we missed tonight, James?
Oh, I think we covered a lot, man. Thanks, Ant, for making this stream happen. Thanks to all the Midwest Motorsports admins for keeping this league real.
Yeah. Thanks to, again, Justin and Steve for devoting some time to come out and give us some insight into the world of racing. So Again, always great to have real life racers on, even if they aren't part of the league. We're always here to listen and ask questions. So doors open. Anybody that wants to hop in anytime, just message us. But aside from that, we're going to go ahead and wrap the podcast for the week. And we should be back at it next Monday. So everybody have a great week. All you Road Series racers, enjoy the last race of the season tomorrow. Oval. We'll catch you Friday and Sunday for your respective races. And we'll get back at it. So have a good week, guys. See you then.
See you then. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow night at Silverstone. And until then, stay in your lane.
And I approve of this message.